There's Raquel.
Hello all. As you're connecting, go ahead and turn your cameras on if you're able so that we can see all your faces. We're super excited to welcome you back. Hi, Miss Sharon and Miss Deborah.
How you doing, Miss Holly and Miss Chris?
Hey,
Dominique, you don't need to worry about
Miss
changing your
Sharon.
background. You just come on as you are. You come on.
Thank
all right?
you. Thank you.
No worries. I said I was going to help you guys today, but we took a lot of time with our final presentations, which was amazing. All right, we're going to wait for Cammie to connect her audio and then we'll start. I feel like I should be having some commencement music, but I didn't get that cheesy yet.
Only if it was pomp and circumstance.
Oh, I can sing it for you. You don't even know. Actually, that might happen in a little while, so we'll just hold off on that. All right. All right, Cammie, feel free to come on camera. Hello. I know we have a few others, but we do want to respect everyone's time and go ahead and get started. So I am going to turn it over to Chris.
Hello, everybody, and I appreciate everybody being here today. This is a very exciting day. It's a culmination of a dream that we've had for many years to do a leadership cohort and to actually have a class work through it. And you guys are it. And I apologize for using the word guys. You ladies are it. And we are very grateful that you took a chance with us and you have experienced the leadership and the learning about racial diversity and all the different things that you have. And we're delighted and honored that we're able to be here with you today to celebrate. I'm going to hand it over to Crystal, who's been your facilitator this summer. Oh, Holly, I'll give it to you first. Take it back, Holly. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Chris. I just wanted to just kind of ground us and remind us all of where we started, why we started, and to just kind of take you back on the journey before I do turn it over to our primary trainer, Ms. Crystal Morris. But if you'll recall, when we started this, we kind of had the ABCs of leadership. And what we said we wanted to do was to expand your leadership and advocacy skills. So immediately, it wasn't to establish or to create or to give you or to teach you. It was to expand your leadership and advocacy skills within your profession that you already had. And I think that echoes one of the themes that we heard this morning in your presentations about it was already within you. And we just helped maybe accelerate or bring some of that out. So I first want to acknowledge that this whole process was to expand your skills. And the ABCs were to acquire leadership skills for self, teams, and community, build strategies for effective community engagement, and to commit to advancing equity in the early childhood classroom. And I think that it's that last piece that makes our leadership class different from ones that are out there on the market, maybe in your communities or with other professions, that really is kind of changing how we interact as ourselves, with our peers, with the children and the families that we serve within our communities by making that commitment to advance equity. And I just want to give a quick shout out to all of the teachers who played a role in this journey. So we took our classes, if you will, and we kind of broke them into sections on leadership skills for self, teams, and community. And I just want to remind everyone of everything that we did. So we started off on May 7th, so quite literally 6 months, right? Is that 6 months ago? 5 months ago? 6 months, creating your leadership mindset. And Chris walked us through an introduction to continuous quality improvement. We then jumped right into introduction to leadership basics with Ms. Shwanda Barnett, and I know that she's here. Followed by the power of reflective practice, time management, and the art of the thing that I struggle with the most, delegation, with Ms. Flora. So hi, Flora, thank you for coming back. We then transitioned on May 19th, right? So we were doing these pretty back to back every Wednesday and Friday with Miss Emmy Lou and how to build and manage an effective team. down to meeting facilitation and communicating a vision with Raquel, who's also with us. And that was a super exciting day, and learning about communities of practice and experimenting with different ways that you could run and build and facilitate meetings and kind of build that team. Then we also had a session with Billy Yenge, who unfortunately cannot be with us today, but she does send her regards. And she was talking about community advocacy and how to build strategic partnerships. And then finally, I had the opportunity to serve as one of your trainers in the art of public speaking and staying on message. And we had a lot of fun with power poses that I believe was very evident in coming out today in your final presentations to see that happened this morning, which was a really cool part to be able to witness. And for those of you who are on and are interested in seeing kind of their final presentations, we did record them, and we do have their permission to share them out with you. So you're going to see all of the work that came together. But the real crux of the work that we did with this group wasn't in those kind of 6 weeks compressed time, although we definitely got to know each other. It was really in the 4 months that came after on embracing equity and empowerment. And that was with Ms. Crystal Morris. And instead of me kind of walking through what happened during those sessions, I want to invite Crystal to come to the stage and talk about the journey that she went on and offer any words of wisdom, graduating advice type of things to all of our graduates today. So Crystal, come on up.
Thank you, Holly and Chris, for trusting me with doing 4 months. This heavy lift, and my Microsoft Word document just went completely blank with the last part of what I'm supposed to say. So I'm going to trust that it comes back. But thank you for trusting me with 4 months of doing this work with this group. So for those of you who don't know, when Holly reached out to me and asked me to do this, I said, yes, I would love to do this, but with one catch. I don't want you guys to be in the room because I want this to be a safe space where I can have these women have this really safe container where all of their feelings can surface. So no one has to feel like they have to say the right thing. They can say the honest thing. They can not have to qualify anything, just whatever it is that is authentic to them in that moment, that is what they say. Sometimes when your authority figure, your boss, the managing entity is in the room, you have this pressure to get it right. And when you're doing this work of cultural humility, not cultural competence, but cultural humility, there's no right. There is just what is real. So I wanted to really have this really safe space where whatever you have, you come just as you are, because that is right. Real and authentic is right. And I wanted to honor that. So over these 4 months, I had the opportunity to meet a whole bunch of strangers, and we get to walk away as colleagues and as friends doing this work of serving children and families. We started off exploring the concept of emotional intelligence and how emotional intelligence works hand in hand in creating equity, because at the foundation of it all is emotional intelligence. If you are not conscious of what you're thinking and how your thoughts and feelings impact your relationships with other people, then you're not going to be able to understand why. Hey, Miss Terry, I see you're here and your kiddos are here with you, so welcome. But if you're not conscious of your thoughts and feelings, you won't be conscious of the thoughts and feelings of others, so you'll miss when someone says that offends. So you'll constantly only see things from your perspective. So it was important to lay that foundation, and that's probably the most uncomfortable part of it. But it was also the part that may have confused most people. So when we started off today, it was that thing of, why are we doing this? What does this have to do with DEI work? It has everything to do with DEI work, because this isn't the writing reflex. Today we watched a video, I'm not sure if you guys have seen it before. It's not about the nail, where the woman has a nail in her forehead and she's having this conversation with her husband, and he's like, well, your head's hurting you because you have a nail in your forehead. And she's like, no, it's not about the nail. It's not about going and trying to do, it's not the performative task. The hardest part about fixing communities and building bridges is the internal work of why is it that I'm feeling this way, and what's happening? Why have I sat in this space all this time and none of this has ever bothered me? And doing that reflective work first before we step out to do anything. So we started off with emotional intelligence and how that marries well with equity. Then we went into unpacking authenticity. Who are we as individuals, and how do we show up in spaces? And is it that we're showing up authentically, or are we conforming to fit in to what is expected? And what would happen if we did show up authentically? How more powerful would we be if we didn't have to worry about, well, am I saying this right? Am I doing this right? How do I need to play this game? How much energy could we save if we just showed up and if we had the freedom to just be? Then we looked at implementing change. And then the last time we got together, we looked at the fact that before we can get to achieve outcomes of literacy and building bridges in communities, we have to honor the fact that we take care of home first. If we have educators in our centers that are burnt out, we have teachers whose needs aren't met, we have administrators who are putting out a million fires and are not able to tend to their own needs, then our students won't have their needs met. Our families won't have their needs met. So those literacy outcomes that we're striving for, those won't ever be met. Before we can take care of students and families, we have to take care of our staff. Diversity and equity work means we take care of home first before we look outside into the community. So that's a quick snapshot of what we were able to do. And then today, I didn't have to do any of the talking because the team did, and they got a chance to share what this journey was like, all the good parts, the uncomfortable parts, but they also got to share their learning, which was very humbling to hear just all the takeaways they had. Not just that it was an enjoyable experience, but the stretch and the growth that they had. So if you would indulge me for a few minutes, I wanted to share just some quotes that I found that reminded me of each woman, and just them as leaders, just to leave with them before I have to exit and leave you guys today. I have to drop out a little bit early, but I'm leaving, but I saw Rachel jumped in, so you have a better replacement than I. So I'm gonna start off with Miss Sharon. So when I saw this one, it instantly reminded me of you. Leaders are like gardeners. As leaders, we're not only responsible for harvesting our success, but for cultivating the success of the next generation. You are, by far, your wisdom precedes you, and you were intentional for making sure that you were not just securing your learning, but to ensure that we all got something. You deposited so much in all of us, so thank you for that. Camilla, we said it today that we saw such a stretch in growth in you. So when I saw this, I thought of you. I've learned that people will forget what you said, what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Dominique, leaders are fascinated by the future. You are a leader if and only if you are restless for change, impatient for progress, and deeply dissatisfied with the status quo. I'm gonna say it to you again. You redefine leadership. You are a leader. Miss Debbie, a man or a woman in this case cannot leave a better legacy to the world than a well-educated family. I'm so honored to see the work that you continue to do because you do not understand the definition of retirement. So I'm grateful to have been able to hold space with you during this whole period. Who am I with? And I'm gonna go ahead and say it even if they're not here. I'm gonna go with Cami. Yours is the shortest, but my God, is it the punch, the one with the biggest punch. Well-behaved women never make history. Don't change anything about you, Cami. I think that's the best part of your leadership style, because you will make history. And I think I have, who left? Miss Terry, last but not least. Going back. And for Miss Terry, people are like stained glass windows. They sparkle and shine when the sun is out, but it's when the darkness sets in that their true beauty is revealed, only when the light shines from within. That's for you, Miss Terry. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this journey with you, to see your leadership from all different sides. I'm going to task you with this. Childcare centers suspend students, especially students of color, far more than any other age group from K through 12. It's going to stop, and it's going to stop because of the knowledge that you guys gained over these last few months, especially the last 4. I'm so, so grateful for you. Enjoy the rest of your day, but thank you for everything that you've taught me, that you've taught each other. Enjoy the rest of today. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you guys for the opportunity. Have a great rest of your day.
Chris? You're muted.
That was, it's hard to follow that. But right now I'm pleased to, I don't say introduce because everybody knows her, but to hand the floor over to Miss Angela, our president, and I believe she has some words for our graduates. So Angela, take it on.
Thank you, Chris, and congratulations, everyone. Wow, so powerful, so powerful. I wish I could have been there. I do have a few words for you, if you'll just bear with me, to our first ever leadership class of Leadership FLAEYC. As you turn the page on this important chapter in your lives, we know that the content that you've covered over the last 6 months has uncovered some personal struggles and anxieties, as well as opened your eyes and hearts to new possibilities for tomorrow. We encourage you to hold fast to your newfound boldness and to challenge you to do something worthy of the investment that you've made in yourself. On your graduation, I want to affirm to you that your life is invaluable. It's a priceless gift. It's worthy of boldly, vibrantly living each day and finding gratitude for all that you have, staying open to all that remains possible, and remaining diligent in the pursuit of both personal success and selfless significance. It will be easy to get discouraged as you journey forward. We all do. In this light, remember that it's not the demanding circumstances and temporary setbacks that define us, but rather our choices during them and the way that we choose our life after. It's common to pursue ease, dollars, or status. Society that loves to celebrate the busy and the brash, glamour and glitz, often tracks success in the wrong metrics. What you've learned, however, is to utilize your own existing talents for a cause that's truly worthy, that might change the world, one life at a time, starting with your own. Don't be afraid to push against cynicism and pessimism. Step forward as a living, vibrant, beautiful embodiment of all that is good, right, and possible. We need to lean into each other and become our very best. Made for community, we benefit by being there for each other. Asking for help doesn't make us weak, it makes us real. And if there is one thing we absolutely need, it's real people to do life with. In closing, I want to leave you with this. In all you do, seek justice, love, mercy, and walk humbly. Real success is not found in moving faster, striving incessantly, living selfishly, playing shallowly, or judging others. Recognize the gift of slowing down, recognizing what really matters, identifying what really doesn't, and embracing the awesome gift that life is. This is your day, and live inspired. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you very much, Angela. We greatly appreciate those words, and I know everybody heard them and is taking them to heart. So, Holly, what's next?
So now comes the point, right, in the graduation where we're going to hear from each of our graduates, and we have the opportunity to kind of call them forward, right? This would be the point where they get to come up to the stage, we hand them their certificate and all of that fun stuff. But of course, we can't physically do that in our virtual sense, and maybe this is some background that we'll need to kind of fix in the future. But so as I call each of them forward, normally I would hand them the certificate and let them know a couple of things. Each and every one of our graduates are going to receive 2 books. I'm going to try to make them appear. There we go, 2 books, right? So the first one is a national bestseller. It is Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? If you have not received this or read this before, it's going to start with our hope that maybe we can stay connected by doing a little bit of a book club where we can come together and talk about this in the future. The second book that you will receive is A Dedicated Life. It's Journalism, Justice, and a Chance for Every Child from Mr. Dave Lawrence Jr. And I think one of you will get one that's actually signed by him. So these will be mailed to you along with your certificate. In addition, each and every one of you will receive a pass to our Leadership Summit in 2 weeks. I know that you might have been anticipating it, but it will be a free pass to that, which is Becoming an Early Childhood Advocate. Hearing all of you guys talk today, there was definitely a recurring theme about advocacy and how you guys can learn to get involved with that. So you will receive that, as well as a discounted ticket to the entire virtual conference with FLAEYC. We know that that most of you receive scholarships to come to this to participate in this, but you'll be getting that as well. And finally, and perhaps most significantly, will be an invitation to mentor class number 2. Each of you have stepped up over the past 6 months, discovered things about yourselves, and progressed forward, and our future is your future. We can't do this without you. We can't continue to grow and invest our future leaders without you pouring back in to the things and the gifts that you have received. So I want to take a quick moment before I call you all up here, and we're going to go in alphabetical order by last name. I will call on you. There'll be none of this waiting for like someone to jump up. But something that I just wanted to share with the whole group, and hearing your presentations this morning, I wrote down a couple of things that I just if ever had to create a list of outputs of a training, of an experience, of an opportunity, the things that I wrote down that just really resonated with me was the ability of building confidence in our graduates, the innovative approaches that they were able to embrace throughout the journey, the sense of camaraderie that they were able to build across the state of Florida, learning empathy skills, and embracing authenticity. I think that was one that was repeated multiple times. They talked about having an advocacy focus, creating families, and probably most important, how to use inclusive language with intentionality. And I think that if We started this journey with those ABCs and that kind of big focus on that C of that commitment to advancing equity. Hearing that inclusive language with intentionality was definitely something that I think that we can achieve. So that being said, I would cue the music and play some pomp and circumstance, and I would welcome our first graduate to the stage. I am going to recognize Miss Judith Behrens, who's not with us today. Unfortunately, she woke up in the middle of the night not feeling well and has gone into the doctor, and they're ruling out COVID right now. So if we could all lift her up for just a moment. She's stuck with us throughout this journey, representing Manatee County. She did an amazing job throughout the journey. All right, graduate number 2, Miss Dominique, come on up to the stage.
There she is.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thanks. So excited, you guys. Thank you so much. This has been such an amazing opportunity. I would just like to personally thank all the trainers throughout the leadership course: Chris, Holly, Shwanda, Billy, Raquel, Emmylou. Everyone has taught me so much in this course. Chris has taught me how to approach change and be a risk taker. Holly taught me how to communicate my purpose and strengthen relationships. Swanda taught me how to discover my communication skills and leadership style. Billy taught me how to build foundations and partnerships. Emmylou taught me how to create advocacy, and Raquel taught me how to be a collaborative leader and empower others. And Crystal has taught me how to be my authentic self, how to be inclusive, and how to be graceful with myself so that I could be better than I was yesterday. I'd also like to formally thank, who isn't here, but I did invite, Dr. Susan Weber. Without her unconditional love and support throughout the years, I wouldn't be where I am today. She has always believed in me as a leader and has given me the confidence to succeed to new levels and achieve new things throughout my organization. I would also thank our club for this opportunity and providing teachers to come in the classroom for me so that I could leave to attend the sessions. I'd also like to thank my former director, Euless Butler, for providing me with always amazing opportunities to grow in leadership, and to my current director for the continuous support and mentorship. And to all my coworkers who switch their schedules to cover my shifts and attend to the children that are so important to me in my care, so that I could attend this class with no disruptions. Thank you.
Thank you for being part of it.
Congratulations.
Yay, congratulations. And we want you to stay with us and keep moving on up through FLAEYC. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, our next graduate is Miss Camilla Holmes Gordon from Orange County. Come on to the stage. Oh, you're muted.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to take this time to say thank you for the opportunity. I want to thank Miss Chris Duncan for having an idea and for turning that idea into a reality. I also want to thank all the speakers that took their time to impart some of what you have learned into my life. And I want to thank Miss Holly for being the instrument that put the idea into action. She helped fertilize it so it can, grow. I also want to really thank Miss Christian for accepting the call and doing an exceptional job. She was amazing. And this has really been a life-changing experience for me. And I'm glad that I had the opportunity to meet all these wonderful ladies. I also want to thank each and every one of the ladies that was in the group and learned something from everyone. And I really hope that we can stay connected in some way. Thank you, and thank you again.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful, and we're so glad you were part of it. We look forward to great things from you.
All right, coming to the stage next is Miss Cammie Hughes from Broward County.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I would just like to say I am so appreciative for this opportunity to be a part of this inaugural cohort. I really appreciate all the thought and intentionality behind everything that we did in this cohort, from the activities to the trainings to the speakers. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. From my personal experience, I've noticed when it comes to conversations around diversity, equity, and inclusion, the pre-K world is oftentimes forgotten about, but as we are aware, there are inequities that preschool age children experience. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be a part of this cohort that was willing to forego that myth that it's not something, DEI is not something that, you know, pre-K is concerned about, and just having the foresight to engage us over these several months in that particular topic. So I appreciate every opportunity that we've had to listen to various speakers and everything that you have brought with your wealth of knowledge and background. I also want to say thank you so much to the other individuals who participated in this cohort. I've learned so much from each and every one of you. You all have stretched my thinking. You've allowed me to think differently, and you allowed me to be able to feel free to be my authentic self. So thank you all so much for encouraging me and pushing me to continue to use my voice to address inequities in early childhood, and for encouraging me to lean into not being well behaved, as the quote that Crystal utilized earlier today. So thank you all so much, for every last one of you, for what you've brought to my life, both personally and professionally. It is very much appreciated, and I'm looking forward to remaining connected.
Thank you very much, Cammie. Yay, yay, thank you.
I feel like I should have like those little blower things that like pop out, like, you know, in hindsight, right? We can only get better, right? As we move forward, we can only get better. Next coming to the stage is Miss Deborah Freeman Jones from Orange County. Come on down. Oh, you're muted.
Thank you so much. Okay. I have to keep it muted because I have a little bad dog sometimes. Okay. Okay. First of all, I would just say this was amazing. This was so amazing. And I'd like to give special acknowledgement to our elite team of leadership. Chris Duncan, Executive Director, thank you for that visionary. You're a visionary of change. Holly McPhail, you're the facilitator, and you were the organizer of leadership change. And Crystal was one caring adult missionary of our leadership change. We couldn't do it without you guys. And also special acknowledgement for the other special presenters that shared their dynamic teachings of expertise and leadership practices and strategies. I can't thank you enough. I will always remember them and utilize them. I'm going to end with this little leadership, what I got out of the training with just using leadership. And I'm going to start with letter L, lifelong learning. I think this is the most highest level of learning that I have been in. And I've been in a lot of learning in the last 3 decades. E is for engagement that built the teams through this training. A is for authenticity. I'm nervous, I can't say that occurred. D is diversity of the team, the information. E is for effectiveness of this training to build understanding of equity in our educators. R is respect that was created even when differences occurred. S is for the supportive environment that strengthened each and every one of us. H is for healing that occurred by reflecting on much of the trauma that we have in our past have experienced. I, we internalize the learning. It's something that we will never forget. And P is the powerful information, the feelings of connections that occurred each week that we have the training. And we thank you all so much for every one of it.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful. And I think we'll all remember your leadership and remember your words that you're associated with. Thank you for doing that.
Oh my gosh. I'm totally see a graphic in the future. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. All right, next to the stage, Miss Sharon Miller from Winter Haven, Polk County.
Okay, I needed to unmute myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you for such a humbling and invigorating experience. It has been a while since I've done a leadership course, and I am so glad that I did. Hats off to all of the leaders, the speakers. I took this as for myself, so I'm acting from a selfish mode. Thank you for reaffirming my current path of growth. Crystal Morris, I should never forget you for the inner growth that you so gently promoted. Chris and Holly, the both of you are trailblazers, and you live a very inclusive life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May we each support each other to continue the work.
Thank you, Sharon. That was very special. And we greatly appreciate you and that you're willing to take a chance with us on this. So thank you very much.
I'm sorry, you guys are starting to tear up. I can't help it. Last but certainly not least, Miss Terry Robinson from Palm Beach.
Hello, everyone. I kept my mask on. I'm still here at work, but I learned that the eyes tell the story. And if we haven't had anything else from this COVID experience, is speaking through our eyes. So I first like to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to be here. You accepted the fact that I was able to continue to show up even when I had to juggle between someone pulling on my shoulder, interacting with the children. Sure. I had a chance to really look at me as an individual, my trauma, my history, and how I have the drive to create change, to be a catalyst, but also have a soft heart. And I am not going to cry, so don't look at my eyes. But I just want to say thank you, everyone, for this opportunity. Thank you, my classmates. I learned so much from you, and each time we met, I just felt like I could be myself. And I don't know of any time in my life that I felt like it was okay to not be okay. If somebody said something, I look forward to helping the next class that comes along. I look forward to continuing to be a part of FLAEYC. And just thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the presenters. Thank you for the time and effort, Holly, that you put into bringing this together. Thank you for answering my emails. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Terry. And your eyes are beautiful. So thanks for sharing your eyes with us. So of course, we want to keep you involved. Stay with us.
All right, so this is the time that we say thank you to all of our trainers, or invite all of our trainers to come up and offer any comments, any of our board members, any of our special guests. I see we have one that's returned to really take the stage and offer any perspectives.
I will be happy to start, if that's okay.
Go for it.
Oh, this is exciting. It's, next time we do this, I want to be I listen to others and learn from others. So the next cohort, I'm going to invite myself to be a learner too. Just listening to everybody is so beautiful. So I think that from the moment we all join this cohort is because we believe in our strength of leadership. we were leaders before. And however, we participated in this with all the students and all the professionals. I think this was a moment of growth and a great experience for all of us. And the leadership was there already, but in order to continue being a leader, we need to be brave to continue learning. And I think it's what this cohort gave us all. And I hope that during the months of learning, collaborating, and sharing, we all had time to focus and had time and space to reflect on our previous knowledge and our new knowledge. And I really, really, really hope that our paths continue crossing because we still have so much to learn from each other. So thank you.
Very well said. Very well said.
Hi, Holly. I'd like to speak.
Take it away.
I want to echo, Holly, what you and Flora said about the fact that we didn't give leadership to these amazing women. They already have it in them. So all we did was expand on some areas that they may not have considered or things that they may not have been thinking about in the way that we presented it. But I just want to say I was so honored to be a part of this process from the onset. I love speaking with amazing people, women especially, but don't tell anybody. But I love speaking with amazing people about how they can really tap in and hone into what makes them special and make sure that those around them know it too. And so I'm just so excited to see where the future is going to take you. I'm excited to be part of this inaugural cohort. Some of you have already connected with me on LinkedIn, so I hope the rest of you will. And I hope I get to continue to see you just do amazing things for young people. I think educators on every level are superheroes, and you ladies are no different. You're definitely superheroes. So thank you so much for all that you do. And congratulations.
Ditto. Shwanda, I do have to tell you that in their presentations this morning, how many of them identified their leadership style and how that presentation that you started with really opened their eyes to embrace their strengths and see them like that. I think one of the quotes was, "It's okay to be assertive." And, and so I want you to know in terms of the impacts, helping to kind of set that stage, like how many of them referenced that particular training. So.
Yay, keep being assertive, ladies.
All right, other trainers, board members, guests, jump on in.
I'll just quickly say, I can't believe we started. I mean, I can't wait for Rachel to talk. I hope she plans to unmute any second now, because I remember that first call with Rachel and everyone. You really feel, even in Zoom land, you feel the transformation. You honestly can see the transformation in each and every one of you. You can see the unity in you guys as a cohort. And I just want to call it out. You guys have done an amazing job because you opened up yourself to the process. So kudos to you. Congratulations. And thank you, Holly and Chris, for including us.
Okay, Raquel. I want to say, if I can get things out, I am crying. This has been the most inspirational last 45 minutes. And the fact that this has been going on for 4 months, I can only imagine the strength that each and every one of you are taking away at this moment. When you think back to when we started sharing these moments of what made us who we are and where we are now, just the exponential growth is huge. I'm wearing a shirt today. It's my favorite shirt to wear when I talk to teachers. It's Teach, Change Lives, Repeat. And normally it goes to teaching children. But the fact that we are constant learners, L is for learners, lifelong learners. I'm never going to forget that now. And the idea that you are now going to be leaders for the next cohort. You teach, change lives, repeat. There's this really great quote that a woman with a voice is a strong woman, and change takes courage. You are all courageous to open yourself up, to share everything about you and your life experiences, and to grow and to hear and to move forward. It gives me hope. It gives me hope that what Holly and Chris has accomplished in just a few months in Florida is possible everywhere else, because ladies, great things are happening in Florida. and they are possible everywhere. So continue to just be leaders and guide everybody else, because we need you now. You have to now repeat. So you have to continue to change lives. Thank you for just inviting me, and I'm going to sit back and hear what everybody else has to say and continue to cry. So thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us. This is what a nice, beautiful treat, and to kind of have you from Chicago and glimpsing in. Earlier today, someone shared, Cami, it was you. You talked about the difference between a window and a mirror, and how we view lives, and how we look at equity, or how we look at people and interactions. And sometimes it's through a window. And this training, and oftentimes in trainings, we tend to look out. In this training, and how we organize it and create it, was to really look in. And even for those of you who are just kind of popping in, and kind of looking at, you help us hold that mirror up and look in. So thank you for being here and for being a part of it. Any others want to come up to the stage?
Okay, I'll go next. I am so excited. I am so proud of all of you. I do definitely hear the change in your voices. I see the excitement in your voices. I heard today about being a little bit of a rebel and doing things differently outside the box. I heard today about resiliency and not giving up even after retirement. I heard today about passion, and I see the future in many of you, and I see so many things that are yet to come. And as a lifelong learner also, I agree, we have the opportunity to open the ways for so many people. We are leaders. We were leaders before we started this journey. You were all leaders. You were just meant to be here, and you were meant to come to this place with us today. So congratulations, ladies. Thank you so much, Chris and Holly, for bringing this to us. Thank you, Angela, for backing it up. And I am very, very proud of everyone. I am even more proud that I was a part of today's experience.
It's also special. Thank you. Any others of our guests?
Me.
All right, Ms. Norma, take it away.
Hi, everyone. So I feel like now I'm like the outlier. I don't get to say that I saw the before picture of, you know, what I'm in the presence of today. But as soon as I started listening to everyone, I started tearing up, and then the tears started running, and I thought, what is happening? And I thought, I'm in awe. And, you know, this is what it feels like when you're in the presence of empowered women. Like, you just, I mean, some of you we've met virtually, some of you we've never met. And, you know, I'm just, you know, I just started tearing up, and we're virtually here. So it's, you know, I'm so proud of you. I'm so, you know, I'm in awe. I'm like, what is this feeling? Like, what am I feeling? But it's what it feels like when you're in the presence of empowered women. And, you know, it's just to be, you know, wherever you go, whether virtually or in person. I mean, you have everything now to like just knock us off our feet. But please continue, and thank you so much. And I wasn't expecting this, but I'm just, congratulations. And I hope to see you guys again soon.
Thank you for joining us, Norma. Amazing. We're winding it up. One more go. Any takers? All right, well then I will share just in terms of next steps. I kind of already let the cat out of the bag about the books, which is of course very exciting. We will be following up with everyone that's here today to have in the future to kind of like the book club. If you don't have those books, those that are trainers or some of our special guests, grab the books, and we're going to kind of start this little book club to kind of stay connected and create cohorts around leadership where our group will be kind of leading the way. You'll get to learn a little bit more about each of their, about some of their journeys during conference. We are going to have a session that's specifically about this process, kind of a recruitment type of effort in terms of our next steps for cohort number 2, but we'll be gathering together with this group, doing a follow-up to really unpack the good, the bad, the ugly about the training course. How do we make it better for the next one, which of course will already be enhanced because we'll have a first round of mentors. So we're super excited for that piece. So stay tuned as we move forward. And with that, I'd like to invite Chris to come back up to the stage and close us out for today.
I'm delighted to, and I would like to see everybody when I'm talking. So I want to get to gallery view instead of me. So thank you to everybody. What struck me was that I kept coming up, thank you, Chris, for the vision. And so that keeps being my role. And I keep visioning where we're going next and what we're doing. And I'm so blessed to have a team now of Holly and Wendy, who's over here. Wave your hand, Wendy. She's doing great things in accreditation and everything, so you'll know. Of course, we have Janice, who does all accounting and keeps us straight. But with the team we have, we're able to really move forward. So what I would like to have your permission to do is to do another challenge, to move us a little bit. We're going to keep going with this leadership. We're going to keep going with diversity and equity and inclusion and doing all the things we need to do. But the new letter is B, belonging. And it's now DEIB, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And the first time I heard it, I thought, belonging, what's the point? Of course we belong. And what is that about? But then I started looking at it, and I want to bring it to your attention because I think I have leaders here. I have board members, I have our newest leaders who have all done wonderful things, and we all need to embrace where FLAEYC needs to go next. And we're doing strategic planning, and the committees are getting to work, and the word belonging is critical to the success of FLAEYC. And I want to challenge all of us to think about belonging. When I looked it up, belonging is defined as a feeling of security and support, a sense of acceptance and inclusion, as well as identity as a member of a certain group of people. So our challenge is, how do we help over 3,000 people feel like they belong to FLAEYC, and they're part of this group, and they're part of the leadership, and they're part of this community, so they feel like they belong. I found another quote from Janine Stewart with the Neuro Leadership Institute. Being surrounded by other humans doesn't guarantee a sense of belonging. Belonging actually has to do with identification as a member of a group and a high quality interactions that come from that. It is the interactions over time which are supported of us as fully authentic human beings. So how do we reach out to all the small counties that are out there and where the teachers are, and how do we bring them in such a way that they interact and they feel like they're part of our purpose and they're part of what we are? How do we embrace them? We're talking about membership and how to engage and to interact with them, but really it's not just about membership. Membership's the tool. What it's about is how to help the early childhood educators and everybody involved in this state feel like part of a community that cares. Going on, it pointed out that associations, which is what we are, we actually have the advantage in this because our members are not just a community, but they're part of a mission-driven community. Because we have a purpose, because our purpose is to ensure all children have high-quality education, when our members are engaged with us and they're feeling part of it, then that's what they're part of. And it pulls this all together. Members can actually be part of something greater than themselves, contributing their time and their energy to improve their careers, centers, professions, and industry. If we can really get them engaged, then they're going to be part of that. And then along the way, they will develop friendships with friends and acquaintances, strong ties like y'all talked about here, who help them experience a sense of belonging and the community they seek. So our challenge is, how do we do this with over 3,000 people? And I am confident with the leaders and everybody that's here today and everybody else that we know, we can do this. We can bring our community together so this FLAEYC community that we are becomes the greatest it can be in Florida. And we're making a difference for our children. So I got Holly working the leadership, the diversity, and making this happen. But I'm going to be pushing our committees, looking at membership and advocacy and all the things we're doing. How are we helping people belong to what we're about? Because that's what's going to make the difference in the state of Florida. And Holly, you want to show my last slide? If she can get it up there. Almost there. It's remembering that diversity is about having a seat at the table. Inclusion is all about having a voice at that table. But belonging is having a voice that is heard. And that's what's going to make us difference as our members are heard and they're at the table and they're here. We make sure that they know they belong and we want them here and we want them to be a part of us. So that's my little next passion. We got to figure out how to do it, and we'll depend on all of you helping me do that. So that's my little Friday afternoon. What the heck? So let me ask this. How does that trigger in y'all? I mean, does that trigger anything when you really think about what belonging means?
Yes.
Why, Debbie?
We all have to be we have to feel belong, even in our early childhood. Everywhere we go, we want even our teachers to feel belonged. This is a great field to be respected, and we want to build it and with respect and dignity, and make everyone feel that they're a part, important part of the process.
And their voices are heard.
And their voices are heard.
Right. Anybody else? Does it trigger anything?
I wanted to share. I think.
Go ahead, Terry.
Is it me?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's your eyes. It's your eyes. We got your eyes.
Okay. I think one of the major things, terms that you used was belonging. I think right now, the way our country is going, we're all searching for a place of belonging and inclusion and a part of the change that is happening, and where do we fall into that? So belonging to a group of people who are like-minded, who can disagree but agree because of the end result is to improve, that's so vital.
Wow.
Thank you. How about you, Camelia?
Oh, I was just gonna say that I feel like we already started the belonging process, and that's what made this whole class experience that's what made it such a great past couple of months. And as Miss Terry just said, I'm a teacher, and it does feel good to belong, because a lot of times I think teachers don't feel like they belong. So that is a great step forward.
Other thoughts?
I was just going to say that throughout the process, Crystal made us feel that sense of belonging. She made us feel that our gifts are needed in this world, and that we are leaders and we are all individual and special in our own way, and that there's space for our talent, and that there's space for ourselves to be graceful with ourselves. And that really helped us, I feel like, give us that sense of belonging, because we all felt that safe space. And with that safe space, that gave us room to grow and blossom.
Thank you.
Holly, what's the name of the book there? Why are all the Black children sitting at the table in the cafeteria by Beverly Tatum?
Yeah.
Okay, wow, okay. That's an example of creating a sense of belonging. When we read through that book, you find out why they're sitting there. and they don't have a sense of belonging, and they don't have a voice that's heard. So I look forward to that book, that discussion, but that goes to the heart of what you're talking about, Chris.
Thank you. Anybody else? Well, after I kind of went through all those things, you know, Holly is our wordsmith. I come up with words and then she schmoozes them and tweaks them and makes them absolutely wonderful. For as long as I've been with y'all, our kind of tagline or whatever it's been is Florida's premier professional network. It's like, blah, blah, you know, what is that? What's a network? Now I'm thinking we need to work our tagline. We need to, what is our claim to fame? And it needs to be about belonging and a community in Florida where people belong and they're working. It's not, I'm not saying, board, we don't have to change our mission. Our mission is great and all, but when we stand in front of people and say, why should we join FLAEYC? I want to be able to come out with the line that helps them know when you do that, you then belong to a community that cares and that you will have a voice and we will make a difference. And I would like to charge her to help us come up with that line because I think we need to change our focus. I don't think network does it anymore. Network is kind of cold, but what is belonging all about? And let's think about that. So that's my, if I, you know, do anything, change our tagline so it's a little bit more fun. But anybody else?
Thank you for that, Chris.
Okay.
I want to just kind of close us out and just in this the sense of camaraderie, the sense of belonging. I think one of the things that Angela said at the very beginning is that we are made for community, right? And that we benefit from being there for each other. And I think that the last 6 months, the participants in Leadership FLAEYC have journeyed together and you have created that community. And now we get to be the examples by opening up our doors. I think oftentimes communities happen and then we band together. And this is how we get to where we're divided, because we got to experience something, we shared something. But in the same way that Norma said, I didn't get to see the before, I didn't get to see the during, I'm coming in here afterwards. And what did we do? Let me move over and invite you to the table. Let me hand you the microphone so that you can have your voice heard because you belong with me. We belong together. We were made for community. And isn't this where we want to do life? With people that we care about and with people who care about us. So I just want to thank everyone again for coming out. And if you could all come off of mute, because every single time that each of our graduates spoke, I saw you doing this and no one heard it. So I'm going to ask you to come off of mute. And just one thing, one of our graduates earlier today closed out her presentation, and at the very beginning, she just kind of said, you know, I am Dominique Brunel, and I'm an early childhood educator. And then she gave her presentation. And at the very end, she said something that was very powerful. And I think all of us can say, she said, I am Dominique Brunel, and I am an early childhood educator. But more than that, I am a leader. And we all came to this journey with those skills and you have all expressed them. So I just want to give a round of applause, all of us together. And Ms. Sharon, the song is for you. Congratulations, everyone.
And all I have to say is please take care of yourself. We want everybody to stay healthy. Please, please, please stay healthy. Take time to relax. Take time to enjoy your family and your life, please. You don't know how critically important it is. We've lost too many friends. Please take care of yourself and have a wonderful weekend.
Hi, everybody. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to miss not seeing you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.